15 armed intruders charging my front door, real guns, tactical gear, and the look in their eyes like they were raiding some narco compound on the news. Yeah, that's how my Thursday started. Victoria Sterling standing out front like a general screaming, "Take him down!" Her team splits up circles, the house boots pounding on gravel, sunlight flashing on weapons, thinking they've got me cornered. Honestly, if you'd told me 3 months back this was how it'd go, I'd have laughed you off the porch. But here we are, and if they think I'm about to die helpless in my own home, they really don't have a clue what's coming for them. By the end of this, only one side's walking away, and it ain't going to be the HOA. Let me back up a sec. This all started in a courthouse auction room with that sticky old air buzzing with greed and nerves. I'll never forget Victoria's face just falling apart the minute my bid landed $280,000 final call. See, this wasn't just a chunk of land, it was her crown jewel. 847 acres of Texas ranch, the centerpiece of her empire, gone in the blink of a gavel. Sterling Hills, she'd called it. Fancy brochures talk of gated communities, none of them mentioning the $3.2 million that disappeared from construction budgets like morning dew. If you're here listening, probably means you know someone like that, some neighbor who thinks the world's their chessboard and you're just another pawn. Drop a comment if you've crossed swords with one misery loves company. Victoria. She'd staked her entire life on controlling property values, neighbors, that homeowners association she ran like a medieval fiefdom. Fines, fees, fake contracts, every improvement funneled cash right back to her family. Folks thought the rising home prices were some magic she conjured. Nah, just sleight of hand, and the only thing she protected was her own wallet. I'll admit it, I kinda relished walking out of that auction with the deed in hand, watching her husband try to haul her off the courthouse steps while she fixed those icy blue eyes on me like I'd personally stolen her future. Maybe I had, professionally speaking. See, folks like Victoria don't just accept defeat. They nurse it, feed it, let it burn until it explodes, usually right in your lap. What she never realized, the FBI's been watching longer than she'd guess. White-collar crime's got a way of camouflaging itself behind all that suburban community talk. But follow the money, and the story always writes itself. For 2 months after that auction, while she sulked and plotted, I got busy turning the ranch's old livestock barn into something special. Yeah, the kind of special you don't see on any real estate brochure. Most folks driving by just saw rusty tin hay bales, maybe some old farm gear. But underneath that concrete, I'd built a little surprise. The previous owner had this deep grain silo, a perfect spot to add hydraulic platforms, reinforced concrete safety lights, all the bells and whistles. My kind of engineering. From above, just a regular barn. Below, the sort of containment area you use when you want to keep folks real quiet, real safe until help arrives. Everything up to code, of course. FBI's got rules about that. Fast forward to last night. My security cameras catch a bunch of trucks and a black tactical van in the HOA community center parking lot. 15 people pile out, decked in military surplus gear, look like an army if you squinted but get close. And it's all backwards vests, plastic, airsoft rifles, helmets that wouldn't fit a toddler. Weekend warriors playing dress up, none of them with a clue about real operations. Victoria's got them lined up handing out assignments like she's running a SWAT team. She convinced them this was a citizen's arrest authorized under the bylaws, she said. Clipboard in hand, nails done, voice full of purpose. A few old-timers craving that sense of importance, a couple true believers. Most just wanted their property values back. What they were about to get. Well, you'll see. So sunrise, here comes their convoy, 4 trucks and that van all kicking up dust. If you've ever watched a high school marching band on the first day of practice, you know what I mean. Victoria jumps out wearing a vest labeled Sheriff, probably printed it herself at Office Depot. She's yelling across my property like she owns it. I sip my coffee, send a quick message to my backup suspects incoming, begin containment protocol 45 minutes. Then I walk slow and steady toward the barn. From my porch, I watch them fan out faces set in their best tough guy expressions. Marcus leads the left flank, his stripes still got the Goodwill price tag. Todd's vest is on backwards radio, picking up country music instead of police chatter. Jenny rearguard tactical gloves hiding pink nail polish that flashes when the light hits just right. Then there's Mrs. Patterson 70 if she's a day, her helmet sliding down over her eyes, orthopedic shoes poking out beneath camo pants. My favorite detail, the fake badges. Marcus has a shiny party store shield, probably official as Monopoly money. Victoria's voice echoes David Carter. You're under citizen's arrest for community theft, fraud, and violating association standards. If yelling could make it real, maybe she'd have a case. Marcus waves his craft badge. Todd fumbles the radio. I step off the porch, hands where they can see all calm, impressive formation. Army training? Or just binge-watch too many action flicks? The tension ratchets up, but I'm still backing toward the barn, laying out legal questions. Warrant, probable cause, who authorized this? You can see the gears grinding, confidence starting to leak out of them like air from a cheap tire. Victoria snaps. We don't need warrants, but even her voice is wobbling now. I keep walking. Ma'am, this isn't your district. Citizen's arrest is for witnessing a felony in progress, not enforcing HOA drama with toy guns. By now, I'm at the barn doors, wide open, inviting. You want proof? Come see the evidence. All the files, the contracts, everything you claim I stole. Come on. That's when her followers start whispering. Mrs. Patterson to Jenny Todd cursing his useless radio, Marcus finally lowering his plastic rifle. Victoria, he says, is this even legal? The cracks are spreading. Some folks are already edging back toward their trucks. But pride's a stubborn thing, and Victoria's ego won't let her back down. I taunt her just a bit. It's a barn, ma'am. You afraid of a little farm equipment? That does it. 7 of them. Victoria leading step right in after me, into the trap I'd spent weeks building. The barn's all honest light and dust motes, concrete floor solid as ever, hay bales stacked, nothing out of place. What they don't know is the pressure plates have already registered their weight. Victoria's scanning clipboard like a magic shield, barking, "Show us the evidence." I lead them dead center, the acoustics amplifying every nervous shuffle and cough. Where are the files? She snaps, voice all sharp edges and desperation. Military doctrine says spread out. Todd mutters, finally catching on, but too late. The floor rumbles. 7 people clustered tight, right where they need to be. They freeze too late. That concrete gives way with a hiss, and a shudder, hydraulic systems lowering them into the silo below. Emergency lights flick on, ventilation kicks in. Their toy weapons clatter uselessly, radio still playing Willie Nelson. Victoria's screaming, "This is kidnapping. This is illegal," but her words just bounce off reinforced walls. The pink-nailed Jenny's crying, now Mrs. Patterson sitting hard on the floor, helmet gone. The men jab at radios, begging for backup that never comes. I look down from the opening, all professional calm. Let's start simple. Who trained you? What statute gives you authority for armed ops outside your HOA? My voice booms. There's just muffles in the echo. You can see realization dawning. Victoria stammers about community authority, about bylaws, nothing that stands up in court. I let them stew while I read from my notes $2.3 million in fees, $847,000 missing. Care to explain? Victoria's face cycles through every shade of panic. Her crew's losing faith fast. You never said anything about missing money. Vic, Jenny's sobbing. You said we were protecting the neighborhood. I keep going. Shell companies, inflated contracts, offshore accounts. The amateur show is over. Finally, the cavalry arrives. 8 black SUVs, real federal agents moving like a precision drill team, not a cosplay squad. Agent Miller, badge vest. Everything real steps. In reads them their rights, drops the truth. You're under federal investigation for impersonating officers, obstruction, embezzlement, and conspiracy. My badge finally comes out. Special Agent FBI Financial Crimes Division. Dead silence, the kind you only get when a whole worldview collapses. Victoria collapses in on herself, still trying to spin it. He's just a ranch buyer. This is a trick, but nobody's buying. One by one, they're hauled out real restraints, replacing the zip ties. Miranda writes in the air, everything by the book. Even the old-timers get treated gentle, just as the law says. Fast forward 6 months back. At that same courthouse, Victoria stands before the judge, not as Queen Bee, but as a federal defendant. 8 years plus restitution, $4.1 million. Her empire's dust. Her minions, some get jail, others probation or community service, working the ranch they tried to storm this time with real work boots instead of pretend badges. Mrs. Patterson, the old gal, she gets off the court, knows a pawn when it sees one. The barn. It's got a new name now, Carter Federal Training Ranch. Real lawmen come here to learn the difference between justice and intimidation, between procedure and power trips. The old silos-filled foundation for new classrooms and community meetings where folks talk, laugh, barbecue without fear. Property values go up. Kids play in the fields. Neighbors actually act like neighbors. Even the folks who followed Victoria, some of them found redemption working the land, real responsibility sinking in with every honest day's labor. And me, I sit on the porch, coffee in hand, watching cattle graze the acres that almost got paved over for profit. No more fake cops, no more HOA kangaroo courts. Just a community that finally learned what real authority looks like and how easily it can be twisted by someone chasing power for all the wrong reasons. So let me ask you, if you were in my boots, what would you have done different? Ever tangled with an HOA tyrant or a neighbor who thought the rules didn't apply to them? Share your story. Argue it out in the comments, because justice isn't a spectator sport, and you never know when it'll be your turn to stand your ground. If you made it this far, give this a share. Let's see how many folks out there know the difference between real authority and a plastic badge.